Oh, alright. We're gonna do Coriolanus, Act 5. Scene 1. Rome, a public place. No, I'll not go. You hear what he has said, which was sometimes general, who loved him in a most dear particular. He called me father, but what way that? Go you that banished him? A mile before his tent fall down, and neither way into his mercy. Nay, if he coy to hear Cominius speak, I'll keep at home. He would not seem to know me. Do you hear? Yet one time he did call me by my name. I urged our old acquaintance and the drops that we have bled together. Coriolanus he would not answer to. Forbade all names, he was a kind of nothing. I forgot the name of it, titleless, till he had forged himself a name with the fire burning Rome. Starts with an M. Malaria. Why so? You have made good work, a pair of tribunes that have racked for Rome to make coals cheap, a noble memory. I minded him royal 'twas to pardon when it was less expected. He replied it was a bare partition of a state to whom one they had punished. Could he say less? I offered to awaken his regard for private friends. His answer to me was he could not stay to pick them in a pile of noisome musty chaff. He said 'twas folly for one poor grain or two to leave unburned and still no knows the offense. Steve, you're on my drawing there in the back room. Oh, buddy, so what's not going to get you out of that? For one poor grain or two, I am one of those. No, his mother, wife, and his child, and his brave fellow too. We are the grains. You are the musty chaff. And you are a smelt above the moon. We must be burnt for you. Nay, pray, be patient if you refuse your aid in this so never needed help. Yet do not upbraid with our distress, but sure if you would be our country's pleader, your good tongue, more than the instant armor we can make, might stop our countrymen. No, I'll not meddle. Pray you, go to him. What should I do? Only make trial what you love can do for Rome towards Marcius. Well, and say that Marcius returned me as Cominius has returned. Unheard, what then? But as discontented friend, a grief shot with his unkindness. Say it be so. Yet your good will must have that thanks from Rome after the measure as you intended. Well, I'll undertake it. I think you'll hear me. Yet to bite his lip and hum at good Cominius much unhearts me. He was not taken well. He had not dined, the veins unfilled, our blood is cold, and then we pout upon the morning, are unapt to give which will forgive. But when we have stuffed these pipes and these conveyances of our blood with wine and feeding, we have suppler souls than our priest-like fast. Therefore I'll watch him, till he be directed to my request, and then I'll set upon him. You know the very road into his kindness cannot lose your ways. Good faith, I'll prove him. Speed how it will. I shall ere long have knowledge of my success. He'll never hear him. Not? I tell you he does sit in gold. His eye red as 'twould burn Rome, and his injury his gaoler to his pity. I kneeled before him. 'Twas very faintly he said, Rise. Dismiss me thus with his speechless hand what he would do. He sent in writing after me what he would not, bound with an oath to yield in his conditions, so that all hope is vain, unless his noble mother and his wife, who, as I hear, mean to solicit him for mercy to his country. No, therefore let's hence, and with our fair entreaties, haste them on. Scene 2. Stay, whence are you? Stand and go back. You guard like men. 'Tis well, but by your leave I am an officer of state, and come to speak with Coriolanus. From whence? From Rome. You may not pass. You must return. Our general will no more hear from thence. You'll see your Rome embraced with fire before. You'll speak with Coriolanus. Good, my friends, if you have heard your general talk of Rome, and of his friends there, it is lots to blank my name hath touched your ears. It is Minius, Be it so. Go back. The virtue of your name is not here passable. I tell thee, follow. Thy general is my lover. I have been the book of this good acts, whence men have read his fame unparalleled, haply implied, for I have ever glorified thy friends, of whom he's chief, with all the sighs his verity would without lapsing suffer. Nay, sometimes like to a bowl upon a supple ground, I have tumbled past the throw, and in the praise have almost stamped the leasing. Therefore, fellow, I must have leave to pass. Faith, sir, if you had told us many lies in his behalf as you have uttered words in your own, you should not pass here. No, though it were as virtuous to lie as to live chastely, therefore go back. Prithee, fellow, remember my name. Is Menenius always factionary on the party of your general? Howsoever you have been this liar, as you say you have, I am one that, telling true under him, must say you cannot pass. Therefore go back. Has he dined? Canst thou tell? For I would not speak with him till after dinner. You are a Roman, are you? I am, as thy general is. Then you should hate Rome, as he does. Can you, when you have pushed out your gates, the very defender of them, and in a violent popular ignorance given your enemy your shield, think to front his revenges with the eager groans of old women, the virginal palms of your daughters, or with the palsied intercession of such a decayed dotant as you seem to be? Can you think to blow out the intended fire a city is ready to flame with such weak breath as this? No, you are deceived. Therefore back to Rome and prepare for your execution. You are condemned. Our general has sworn you out to reprieve and pardon. Sirrah, if thy captain knew I were here, he would use me with estimation. Come, my captain knows you not. I mean thy general. My general cares not for you. Back, I say. Go, lest I let forth your half pint of blood. Back, that's the utmost of your having back. Nay, but fellow, what's the matter? How now, you companion? I'll say an errand for you. You shall know how that I am in estimation. You shall perceive that a jack guardant cannot office me for my son Coriolanus. Guess. But my entertainment is him, if thou standest not. No. I the state of hanging, or of some death more long in spectatorship, and crueler in suffering. Behold now presently, and swoon for what's to come upon thee. The glorious gods sit in hourly synod about thy particular prosperity, and love thee no worse than thy old father Menenius does. Oh, my son, thou art preparing fire for us. Look thee, here's water to quench it. I was hardly moved to come to thee, but being assured none but myself could move thee, I have been blown out of your gates with sighs, and conjure thee to pardon Rome, and thy petitionary countrymen. The good gods massage your wrath, drapes of fondest varlet here, this who like a block hath denied my access to thee. Away! How away? Wife, mother, child, I know not. My affairs are servant to others, though I owe my revenge properly. My remission lies in Volscian breasts. That we have been familiar, Ingrid, forgetfulness shall poison, rather than pity note how much. Therefore be gone. Mine ears against your suits are stronger than your gates against my force. Yet for I loved thee, take this along, I writ it for thy sake. And would have sent it. Another word, Menenius, I would not hear thee speak. Oh, we recorded the deletion. Oh, you're stupid. This man, Aufidius, was my beloved in Rome. Yes, thou beholdest. You keep a constant temper. Now, sir, if your name Menenius, 'tis a spell. You see of much power, you know the way home again. Do you hear how we are sent to keeping your greatness back? What cause? Do you think I have to see? I neither care for the world nor your general, for such things as you. I can scarce think there's any, yet so slight. You that hath a will to die by myself, fears it not from another. Let your demons for you be that you are long, and your misery increase with your age. I say to you as I was said too, away! A noble fellow, I warrant him. The worthy fellow is our general. He is the rock, the oak knight, wind shaken.
The enemy took that one, but we'll get them back.
Catching up.
Scene 3, the tent of Coriolanus. We will before the walls of Rome. Tomorrow, that green set down on her host on the glasses. There he goes, my partner in this action. You must report it to the Volscian lords, how plainly I've borne this business. Only their ends you've respected. Stop your eaters against the general suit of Rome. Never admitted a private whisper. No, not with such friends that thought him sure of you. This old man, whom like a cracked heart I have sent to Rome, loved me above the measure of a father, nay, guarded me indeed. Their latest refuge was to send him for whose old love I have, though I showed sourly to him once more offered. The first conditions which they did refuse, and cannot now accept, to grace him only that thought he could do more. A very little I have yielded to, fresh embassies and suits, nor from the state nor private friends, hereafter will I lend ear to. Ha! What a shout is this? Shall I be tempted to infringe my vow in the same time 'tis made? I will not. My wife comes foremost, in the honored mold wherein this trunk was framed, and in her hand the grandchild to her blood. But out, affection, all bond and privilege of nature break, let it be virtuous to be obstinate. Nay, what is that courtesy worth, or those dove's eyes which can make gods forsworn? I melt, and am not a stronger earth than others. My mother brows as if a limbus or a molehill should in supplication nod, and my young boy hath an aspect of intercession, which great nature cries. Deny not. Let the Volsces plough Rome and harrow Italy, and never be such gulls to obey instinct, but stand as if a man were author of himself, and knew other kin. My lord and husband, these are not the same I wore in Rome. The sorrow that delivers us thus changed makes you think so. Like a dual actor now, I have forgot my part, and I am out, even to a full disgrace. But in my flesh forgive my tyranny, but do not say for that. Forgive our Romans. Oi, a kiss, long as my exile, sweet as my revenge. Now by the jealous queen of heaven, that kiss I carried from thee, dear, and my true lip hath virgined it ere since. You gods, I pray, and most noble mother of the world, leave unsaluted. Sink my knee I the earth. Of thy deep duty more impression show than of the common sons. Oi, stand up blessed, whilst with no softer cushion than the flint I kneel before thee, and unproperly. Show duty as a mistaken all the while between the child and parent. What is this? Your knees to me your corrected son. Then let the pebbles on this hungry beach fill up the stars. Cortana, then let the mutinous wind strike the proud cedars against the fiery sun, murdering impossibility, to make what cannot be slight work. Thou art my warrior. I hope to frame thee. Do you know this lady? The noble sister of Pupicola, the moon of Rome, chaste as an icicle that's curtained by the frost and snow and hangs on Dian's temple, dear Valerius. This is a poor epitome of yours, which by the interpretation of full time may show like all yourself. To the god of soldiers, with the consent of supreme Jove, inform thy thoughts with nobleness, that thou mayest prove to shame invulnerable and stick high to wars like a great sea mark, standing every flaw and saving those that eye thee. Your knee, Sarah. That's my brave boy. Even he, your wife, this lady, and myself are suitors to you. I beseech you, peace. Or if you'd ask, remember this before. The things I have forsworn to grant may never be held by your denials. Do not bid me dismiss my soldiers, or capitulate again with Rome's mechanics. Tell me not where I seem unnatural, desire not to allay my rages and revenges with your colder reasons. Wait, no more. You have said you will not grant 'tis anything, for we have nothing else to ask but that which you deny already, yet we will ask, that if you fail to our request, the blame may hang upon your hardness. Therefore hear us. Aufidius and you, Volsces, mark for will. hear not from Rome in private. Your request? Should we be silent and not speak, our raiment and state of bodies would bewray what life we have led since the exile. Think with thyself how more unfortunate than all living women are we come hither, since thy side, which should make our eyes fill with joy, hearts dance with comforts, constraining them weep, and shake with fear and sorrow, making the mother, wife, and the child to see the son, the husband, and the father tearing his country's bowels out, and to pour we thine enmity most capital. Thou bearest us our prayers to the God, which is a comfort that all we but enjoy. For how can we, alas, how can we for our country pray, but till we are bound, together with thy victory whereunto we are bound? Alack, or we must lose country, our dear nurse, or help thy person, our comfort in the country. We must find an evident calamity, though we had our wish, which side should win, banker, for either thou must be a foreign recreant, be led with manacles through our streets, or else triumphantly tread on thy country's ruin, and bear the palm for having bravely shed the wife and children's blood. For myself, son, I purpose not to wait on fortune till these wars determine, if I cannot persuade thee, rather to show a noble grace to both parts, and seek the end of one. Thou shalt no sooner march to assault thy country than to tread. Trust to't, thou shalt not, on thy mother's womb, that brought thee to this world, I and mine, that brought you forth this boy, to keep your name living in time. Thou shalt not tread on me. I'll run away till I am bigger, but then I'll fight. Not of a woman's tenderness to be requires no child nor woman's face to see. Hansel and Gretel, I have sat too long. Nay, go not from us thus, if it were so that our requests did tend to save the Romans, thereby to destroy the Volsces whom you serve. You might condemn us as poisonous of your honor. No, our suit is that you reconcile them. While the Volsces may say this mercy we have showed, the Romans this we've received, and each and either side give the all hail to thee, and cry, be blessed for making us this peace. Thou knowest, great son, the end of war is uncertain, but this certain now, if thou must Rome, the benefit which thou shalt thereby reap is such a name, whose repetition will be dogged with curses, whose chronicle thus writ. The man was noble, but with his last attempt he wiped it out, destroyed his country, and his name remains to the ensuing age abhorred. Speaking to me, son, thou hast affected the fine strains of honor to imitate the grace of the gods, to cheer them with thunder, to wide chiefs away the air, and yet to charge thy sulphur with a bolt that should but rive in an oak. Why dost not speak? Thinkest thou, if honorable for a noble man, still to remember wrongs? Daughter, speak you. He cares not for your weeping. Speak thou, boy. Perhaps thy childness will move him more than can our reasons. There is no man in the world more bound to its mother, yet here he lets me prate like one eye the stocks. Thou hast never in thy life showed thy dear mother any courtesy. When she, poor hen, found of no second brood, has clucked thee to the wars and safely home, loaden with honor. Say my request unjust, and spurn me back, but if it be not so, thou art not honest, and the gods will plague thee, that thou restrain from me the duty which to a mother's part belongs. He turns away. Down, ladies, let us shame him with our knees. To his surname, Coriolanus, longs more pride than pity to our prayers. Down, an end. This is the last, so we will home to Rome and die among our neighbors. Nay, behold us this boy that cannot tell what he would have, but kneels and holds up hands for fellowship, doth reason our petition with more strength than thou hast to deny it. Come, let us go. This fellow had avulsion to his mother, his wife and his Corioli, and his child like him by chance, yet give us our dispatch. I am hushed until our city be afire, and then I'll speak a little. Oi, mother, mother, what have you done? Behold, the heavens do ope. The god look down, and this unnatural scene they laugh at. Oi, my mother? Mother, oi, you have won a happy victory to Rome. But for your son, believe it, oi, believe it. most dangerously you have with him prevailed. If not most mortal to him, but let it come, Aufidius. Though I cannot make true wars, I'll frame convenient peace. Now, good Aufidius, were you in my stead, would you have heard a mother less, or granted less, Aufidius? I was moved with awe. I dare be sworn you were. And, sir, it is no little thing to make my eyes to sweat compassion. But, good sir, what peace you'll make advise me. For my part, I'll not to Rome. I'll back with you, and pray you, stand to me in this cause. Oi, mother, wife. I am glad thou hast set thy mercy and thy honor at difference in thee. I'll work myself a former fortune. Aye, by and by, but we will drink together, and you shall bear a better witness back than words, which we on like conditions would have counter-sealed. Come, enter with us, ladies, and deserve to have a temple built you. All the swords in Italy and other Confederate arms could not have made this peace. Scene 4, Rome, a public place. See you yon coin, or the capital yon cornerstone? Why, what of that? If it be possible for you to displace it with your little finger, there is some hope for the ladies in Rome. Especially his mother may prevail with him, but I say there is no hope in it. Our throats are sentenced to stay upon execution. It's possible that so short a time can alter the condition of a man. There's differences between grub and a butterfly, yet your butterfly was a grub. This Marcius has grown from man to dragon. He has wings. He's more than a creeping thing. He loved his mother dearly. So did he me, and he no more remembers his mother now than an 8-year-old horse. The tartness of his face, sour, ripe grapes. When he walks, he moves like an engine. And the ground shrinks before his treading. He is able to pierce or corselet with his eye, talks like a nail, and his hum in a battery. He sits in the state as a thing made for Alexander. What he bids be done, he is finished with his bidding. Oh my goodness. I didn't realize he'd actually said that. His hum is a battery for Alexander? Nobody on earth? What he bids be done is finished with his bidding. He wants nothing for a god but eternity and heaven to throne it. Aye. Come. Yes, mercy, if you report him truly. I paint him in character, marked with what mercy his mother shall bring him, whitey-tidy, and the shit stains. There is no more mercy in him than there is milk in a male tiger. That shall our poor city find, and all this along of you. The canvas there. The gods be good unto us. No, in such a case the gods will not be good unto us. When we banished him, we respected not them, and he returned to break our necks. They respect not us. Sir, if you'd save your life, fly to your house. The plebeians have got your fellow tribune and held him up and down, all swearing if the Roman ladies bring not country home, they'll give him death by inches. What's the news? Good news. The ladies have prevailed. The Volscians are dislodged and Marcius gone. A merry day did never yet great Rome. No, not the expulsion of the Tarquins. Friend, art thou certain this is true? Is it most certain? As certain as I know the sun is fire, or have you looked that you make double of it? Ne'er through an arch is so hurried the blown tide, as the reinforcements through the gates, I can feel that. Why hark you? The trumpets, sackbuts, psalteries, and fifes, tables, and cymbals, and the shouting Romans make the sun dance. Hark you. This is good news. I will go meet the ladies. The volumnia is work of consuls, senators, patricians, a city fool, a tribune such as you, a sea and a land fool. You have prayed well today. This morning for 10,000 of your throats I'd not have given a doit. Hark how they joy. First, the gods bless you for your tidings. Next, accept my thankfulness. Sir, we have all the great cause to give great thanks.
Can someone buy me back in?
They are near the city, almost at point to enter. We will meet them and help the joy. Behold your Patronus, the life of Rome. Call let your tribes together, praise the gods, and make triumphant fires, strew flowers before them. Unshout the noise that banished Marcius. Repel him with the welcome of his mother. Cry, welcome ladies, welcome. Welcome ladies. Welcome. Scene 5, Coriolanus, a public place. Nay, go tell the lords of the city I am here. Deliver them this paper private, having read it. Nay, bid them repair to the marketplace, where I even in theirs and in the common ears will vouch the truth of it, am I accused the city ports. By this hath entered, and intends to appear before the people, hoping to purge himself with the words, dispatch. Most welcome. How's it with our general? Even so, as with a man by his own arms empoisoned, and with his charity slain. Most noble sir, if you do hold the same intent wherein you wished us parties, will deliver you out of our great danger. Sir, I cannot tell. We must proceed as we do find the people. The people will remain uncertain, whilst twixt you there's difference, but the fall of either makes a survivor, heir of all. I know it, and my pretext to strike at him admits a good construction. I raised him and prawned mine honor for his truth, nay, who being so heightened, he watered his new plants with the news of flattery, seducing so my friends, and to this end he bowed his nature never never known before, but to the rough, unswayable, and free. Sir, his stoutness when he did stand for consul, which he lost by lack of stooping, that I would have spoke of being banished for it, he came into my hearth, presented to my knife his throat. I took him, made him joint servant with me, gave him way in all his own desires, nay, let him choose out all my files, his projects to accomplish, my best and freshest men, served his designments in my own person, hoped to reap the fame which he did end all his, and take some pride to do myself this wrong. Till at the last I seemed his follower, not partner, and he wagged me with his countenance as if I had been mercenary. So he did, my lord. The army marveled at it, and in the last when we had carried Rome, and that we looked for no less spoil than glory. There was it, for which my sinews shall be stretched upon him, at a few drops of woman's rheum, which are as cheap as lies. He sold the blood and labor of our great action. Therefore shall he die, and I'll renew me in his fall. But hark! Your native town he entered like a post. He had no welcomes home, but he returns, splitting the air with noise. And patient fools, whose children he hath slain, their base throats tear with giving him glory. Therefore, at your vantage, ere he express himself or move the people with what he would say, let him feel your sword, which he will second. When he lies long after you weigh his tale pronounced, shall bury his reasons with his body. Say no more, here comes the Lord. You are most welcome home. I have not deserved it, but worthy lords, have you with heed perused that I have written to you? We have, and grieved to hear it, what faults he made before the last, I think might have found easy fines, but there to end where he was to begin, and to give away the benefit our levies, answering us with our own charge, make it a treaty where there was a yielding. This admits no excuse. He approaches. You shall hear him. Hail, Lord, I'm returned, your soldier. No more infected with my country's love than when I parted hence, but still subsisting under your great command. You are to know that prosperously have I attempted with bloody passes at your wars, even to the gates of Rome. Our spoils we have brought home do more than counterpoise a full third part the charges of the action. We have made peace with no less honor to the ancients and shame to the Romans, and we have delivered subscribed by the councils and patricians, together with the seal which the Senate which we have compounded on. Read it not, noble lords, but tell the traitor in the highest degree he hath abused your powers. Traitor, how now? I, traitor Marcius, I, Marcius, Caius Marcius, dost thou think I'll grace thee with that robbery? Thy stolen name, Coriolanus and Coriolanus.
You've got gas moving in.
You lords and heads of the state Perfidiously he has betrayed your business and given up for certain drops of salt your city Rome. I say your city, to his wife and mother, breaking his oath and resolution like a twist of rotten silk never admitting. Counsel is war, but at his nurse's tears he wind and roared away your victory. That pages blessed at him and men's at heart looked wandering at each other. QR code. Hearest thou, Mars? Name not the god, thou boy of tears. Ha, no more. Measureless lyre, thou hast made my heart too great for what contains it. Boy, oh, slaves, pardon me, lord. 'Tis the first time that ever I was forced to scold. Your judgments, my grave lords, must give this pearl the lie, and his own notion who wears my stripes impressed upon him, that must bear my beating to his grave, shall join to thrust the lie unto him. Peace, both, and hear me speak. Cut me to pieces, vultures, men, and lads, strain all your edges on me, boy. False hound, if you have writ your annals true, 'tis there that like an eagle in a dove-cote I fluttered your vulsions in Coriolanus, alone I did it, boy. Oh, you have it up to a microphone. Why, noble lords, will you be put in mind of this blind fortune, which was your shame, by this unholy braggart, for your own eyes and ears? Let him die for it. Tear him to pieces, do it presently. He killed my son, my daughter, he killed my cousin Marcus, he killed my father. No outrage, peace. The man is noble and his female folds in the orb of the earth. His last offenses to us shall have judicious hearing. Stand, Aufidius, and trouble not the peace. Oy, that I had him with 6 Aufidiuses or more his tribe to use my lawful sword. Insolent villain. Kill him. Hold. My noble masters, hear me speak. Oi, Tullus, thou hast done a deed whereat valor will weep. Tread not upon him. Masters all, be quiet, put up your swords. My lord, when you shall know, as in this rage provoked by him you cannot, the great danger with this man's life did owe you, you'll rejoice that he is thus cut off. Please it your honors to call me your senate. I'll deliver myself your lowest servitor and do your heaviest censure. Bear from hence his body and mourn you for him. Let him be regarded as the most noble course that ever herald did follow to his urn. His own impatience takes from Aufidius a great part of blame. Let's make the best of it. My rage is gone, and I'm struck with sorrow. Take him up. Help! 3 of the chiefest soldiers. I'll be 1. Beat thou the drum, that it speak mournfully trail your steel pikes. Though in this city he hath widowed and unchilded many a one, which is this hour bewail the injury, yet he shall have a noble memory. Assist. The end of Coriolanus. Okay, how now? Since that was short and I didn't know it was the ending, I'm going to go ahead and do some religious texts as part of the Kings. I think we've mentioned Titus, Coriolanus. Chapter 33 of Jeremiah. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto Jeremiah the 2nd time, while he was yet shut up in the court of the prison, saying, No, thus said the Lord, the maker thereof, the Lord that formed it, to establish it, the Lord is his name. Call unto me, and I will answer thee, and shew thee great and mighty things which thou knowest not. For thus said the Lord, the God of Israel, concerning the houses of this city, and concerning the houses of the kings of Judah, which are thrown down by the mountains and by the sword. They come to fight with the Chaldeans, but it is to fill them with the dead bodies of men, whom I have slain in my anger and my fury, and for all whose wickedness I have hid my face from this city. Behold, I will bring it health and cure, and I will cure them, and I will reveal unto them the abundance of peace and truth. And I will cause the captivity of Judah and the captivity of Israel to return, and I will build them as at the first. And I will cleanse them from all their iniquity whereby they have sinned against me, and I will pardon at their iniquities whereby they have sinned, and whereby they have transgressed against me. And it shall be to me a name of joy, a praise, and an honor before all the nations of the earth, which shall hear all the good that I do unto them, and they shall fear and tremble for all the goodness, and for all the prosperity that I procure unto them. Thus said the Lord, again there shall be heard in this place, which ye shall say, be desolate, without man, without beast, even in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem, that are desolate, without man, and without inhabitant, and without beast. The voice of joy, and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bride, the voice of them that shall say, praise the Lord of hosts. For the Lord is good, for his mercy endureth forever, for them that shall bring the sacrifice of praise into the house of the Lord. For I will cause to return the captivity of the land, as at the first said the Lord. Thus said the Lord of hosts again, in this place which is desolate, without man and without beast, and all the cities thereof shall be an habitation of shepherds, causing their flocks to lie down. Alexander, on my back wall here. In the cities of the mountains, and the cities of the vale, and the cities of the south, and in the land of Benjamin, and in the places about Jerusalem, and in the cities of Judah, shall the flock pass again under the hand of him that telleth them, said the Lord. Behold, the days come, said the Lord, that I will perform that good thing which I have promised unto the house of Israel, to the house of Judah. In those days and at that time will I cause the branch of righteousness to grow up to David, and he shall execute judgment and righteousness in the land. In those days shall Judah be saved, and Jerusalem shall dwell safely. And this is a name wherewith she shall be called, the Lord our righteousness. For thus said the Lord, David shall never want a man to sit upon the throne of the house of Israel. Neither shall the priests, the Levites, want a man before me to offer burnt offerings and to kindle meat offerings, and to do sacrifice continually. And the word of that Lord came unto Jeremiah, saying, Thus said the Lord, if ye can break my covenant of the day and my covenant of the night, and that there should not be day and night in their season, then may also my covenant be broken with Clayton, my servant, and he should not have a son to reign upon his throne with the Levites, his priests, my ministers. As the host of heaven cannot be numbered, neither the sand of the sea measured, so will I multiply the seed of David my servant, and the Levites that minister unto me. Clayton Dale Smith. Moreover, the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah, saying, Considerest thou not what this people have spoken, saying, the two families which the Lord hath chosen, he hath even cast them off? Thus they have despised my people, and they shall be no more a nation before them. Thus said the Lord, if my covenant be not with day and night, and if I not appointed the ordinances of heaven and earth, then will I cast away the seed of Jacob, and David my servant, so that I will not take any of his seed to be rulers over the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, for I will cause their captivity to return, and have mercy on them. Chapter 34. The word which came unto the Jeremiah from the Lord, which Nebuchadnezzar king of Babylon, and all his army, and all the kingdoms of the earth, with his dominion, and all the people, fought against Jerusalem, and against all the cities thereof, saying, Thus said the Lord God of Israel, Go and speak to Zedekiah king of Judah, and tell him, Thus said the Lord, Behold, I will give the city into the hand of the king of Babylon. He shall be burnt it with fire. And thou shalt not escape her out of his hand, but shall surely be taken and delivered into his hand. And thine eyes shall behold the eyes of the king of Babylon. He shall speak with thee mouth to mouth, and thou shalt go to Babylon. Yet hear the word of the Lord, O Zedekiah king of Judah. Thus saith the Lord of thee, Thou shalt not die by the sword, but thou shalt die in peace, and with the burnings of thy fathers, thy former kings which were before thee, so shall they burn adorers for thee. And they will lament thee, saying, O Lord, for I pronounce the words of the Lord. Then Jeremiah the prophet spake all these words, and Ezekiel king of Judah in Jerusalem. When the king of Babylon's army fought against Jerusalem, and against all the cities of Judah that were left, against Lachish, and against Ezekiel, For these defense cities remained of the cities of Judah. This is a word that came into Jeremiah from the Lord after that king of Ezekiel made a covenant with all the people which were at Jerusalem to proclaim liberty unto them. That every man shall let his manservant and every man his maidservant, being an Hebrew or a Hebrewess, go free, that none shall serve him of them, to wit of a Jew his brother. Now when all the princes and all the people which had entered into the covenant heard that every one should let his manservant and every one of his maidservant go free, that none should save themselves of them any more, then they obeyed and let them go. Sputnik, oh my goodness. But afterward they turned and caused the servants and the handmaids whom they had let go free to return, and brought them into subjection for servants and for handmaids. Therefore the word of the Lord came to Jeremiah from the Lord, saying, Thus saith the Lord, the God of Israel, I made a covenant with your fathers in the day that I brought them forth out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondmen, saying, At the end of 7 years let ye go, every man his brother. You cannot. And a Hebrew, which hath been sold unto thee, and when he hath served 6 years, thou shalt let him go free from thee. You have to put your ear up to the glass. But your father's heart was not unto me, neither inclined their ear. And you were now judged, and had done right in my sight, and proclaimed liberty every man to his neighbor, and ye had made a covenant before me in the house which is called by my name. But ye turned and polluted my name, and caused every man his servant, and every man his handmaid, whom ye had set at liberty at their pleasure, to return, and brought them into subjection, to be unto you for servants and for handmaids. Therefore thus saith the Lord, Ye have not hearkened unto me, in proclaiming liberty every one on his brother, and every man to his neighbor. Behold, I proclaimed a liberty for you, saith the Lord, to the sword, to the pestilence, and to the famine. And I will make you to be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. And I will give the men that have transgressed my covenant, which have not performed the words of the covenant which they had made before me, when they cut the calf in twain and passed between the pairs thereof. Clarence, and princes of Judah and the princes of Jerusalem, the eunuchs and the priests and all the people of the land which passed between the parts of calf. I will even give them into the hand of their enemies, and to the hand of them that seek their life, and their dead bodies shall be for meat unto the fowls of the heaven, and to the beasts of the earth. And Zedekiah king of Judah and his princes will I give into the hand of their enemies, and to the hand of them that seek their life, and into the hand of the king of Babylon the army which are gone up from you. Behold, I will command, said the Lord, and cause them to return to this city, and they shall fight against it, and take and burn it with fire, and I will make the city of Judah desolation without an inhabitant.
We lost that one, but we'll get a W next time.
Book 5, The Simpleton. To the Buddhist text here. Balavaga, I don't know the proper ancient Buddhist text. Balavaga, Simpleton, Book 5. Long is the night to him that watcheth. Long is a league to him that is weary. Long is a revolution of being for simpletons that know not the good law. Should a man fail to find a companion who is better or his equal, he should resolutely pursue a solitary course, and cannot be friends with a simpleton. I have sons, I have wealth. With these thoughts the simpleton vexes himself, but he is not his own. How that can sons be his? How can wealth be his? The fool who thinks he is a fool is for that very reason a wise man, but the fool who thinks he is a wise man is rightly called a fool. Even if a fool all his life long associate with a wise man, he will not more perceive the law than a spoon that tastes of broth. If an intelligent man, but for a moment, be associated with a wise man, he quickly perceives the law, just as the tongue perceives the taste of broth. Fools of little wit walk with their very selves for enemies, committing evil deeds, the fruit whereof is bitter. That deed is not well done, of which a man must afterwards repent, the fruit whereof he receives weeping with tearful face. That deed is well done, the doing of which is not followed by remorse, the fruit whereof one receives with joy and pleasure. As sweet as honey, thinks a fool, an evil deed as long as it bears no fruit. But when it bears fruit, then the fool comes to grief. Though month after month with the tip of a blade of couth grass a simpleton should eat his food, yet Is he not worth a 16th part of them that have well weighed the law? For an evil deed, when done, does not bear evil fruit at once, just as a new milked milk does not turn at once. It follows the doer, the simpleton, to consume him, like fire covered with ashes, E. Droop E on that. When to his disadvantage a simpleton acquires knowledge, it injures the fortune of the simpleton and crushes his head. The simpleton will seek for false reputation, for presidents among our monks, for authority in the monasteries, for honors among other folk. Let layman and monk both think that it was I, and I alone, who did this. Let them be subject to my will, both in everlasting everything that ought to be done, and in everything that ought not to be done. Thus resolves the simpleton, so do his desire and pride increase. For one road leads to gain, the other to nibbana. Understanding this, the monk, the disciple of the Buddha, should not delight in worldly gain, but should devote himself to solitude. Book 6, The Wise Man, Panditavaga. Should one see, as it were, a reveler of hidden treasures, one who points out what should be avoided, who administers reproof, ISS, Pablock on the A, who administers reproof, where there is occasion for reproof, a man of intelligence, one should follow so wise a man. It will be better, not worse, for one to follow so wise a man. Let a man admonish and instruct and forbid what is improper, for if he do so, he will be loved by the good, but hated by the wicked. One should not cultivate the friendship of evildoers. One should not cultivate fellows of the baser sort. Cultivate the friendship of men that are good. Cultivate the best of men. He that drinks the law sleeps happily, with mind serene. The wise man ever delights in the law, as taught you by old holy men. Ditch diggers lead the water. Arrow makers straighten their shafts. Carpenters straighten the wood. Wise men control themselves. Even as a solid rock is not moved by the wind. That cars, the wise men are not stirred by blame or praise. Even as a lake, deep, limpid, clear, so do wise men become calm after listening to the laws. Everywhere good men practice renunciation. Good men talk not as if given to sensual pleasure. Wise men touch, either by happiness or by sorrow, show no change. Not for his own sake, not for the sake of another, should a man desire son or wealth or kingdom. He should not seek to gain success for himself by unjust means, so will he be upright, wise, and righteous. Of all men there are few that go to the other shore, the rest of mankind merely run up and down the bank. But those who conform to the law when the law is rightly preached, those men will cross to the further shore of the kingdom of death, hard to cross though it be. Abandoning the dark state, the wise man should adopt the bright state. Leaving home, he should go forth to the homeless life in solitude, where enjoyment is hard to find. There he should seek enjoyment by forsaking the lust of the flesh, with nothing he may call his own. With wise man should rid himself of the impurities of the heart. Those whose minds have been well trained to the 7 elements of knowledge. Those who have freed themselves from attachment and rejoice in that freedom. Those who've rid themselves of the contaminations and are full of light, they have passed into nibbana even in this world. Book 7, The Arahat Arhantavaga. For him who has completed his journey, for him who is free from sorrow, for him who has freed himself from the bonds which beset him on all sides, for him who has shaken off all the fetters, for such a one no suffering is possible. There they are mindful. exert themselves, they take not pleasure in an abode. As geese leave a lake, so also do they leave house and home. They that possess not stores at food, they that know their food aright. They whose resort is a void that uncosts deliverance. Their going is hard to follow, like the flight of birds through the air. He who has rid himself of contaminations, who relies not upon food, he whose resort is the void, the unaccused deliverance he is going is hard to follow, like the flight of birds through the air. Nay, if a man's senses have been brought to a state of tranquility, like a horse is well broken in by a charioteer, that feels a little too good. If he has put away pride, if he is free from the contaminations for such a man that God cherish deep affection, like the earth, he is not troubled, like a threshold, such is virtuous. He is like a pool of water free from mud. The rounds of existence do not exist for such a man. His thoughts are calm, his speech is calm, his deeds are calm. Such is the calm of one who has obtained deliverance by right knowledge. That man who is free from credulity, who knows the uncreate, who has brought rebirth to an end, who has put an end to every occasion of good and evil, who has renounced all desires, that man is the greatest of men. In a village it may be, or in a forest on the sea, or in dry land, no matter where the arhats reside, that spot is full of delight. Delightful are the woods, where the man of the world finds no delight. There they are free from passion, find delight not that they are seek after their lust. I would be probably the second coming here. You can feel it in the air. It's my voice coming back to me. I think he just shot it out of the water. Alif Lam Mim, chapter 32 of the Quran. The revelation of this book is, beyond doubt, from the Lord of all worlds. Or do they say, he has fabricated it? No, it is the truth from your Lord, in order for you to warn people to whom no warner has come before you, so they may be rightly guided. It is Allah who has created the heavens and the earth and everything in between in 6 days, then established himself on the throne. You have no protector or intercessor besides him. Will you not then be mindful? He conducts every affair, from the heavens to the earth, and it all ascends to him on a day whose length is 1,000 years by your counting. That is the knower of the seen and unseen, the Almighty most merciful, who has perfected everything he created, and he originated the creation of humankind from clay. Then he made his descendants from an extract of a humble fluid. Then he fashioned them and had a spirit of his own creation, breathed into them. And he gave you hearing, sight, and intellect, yet you hardly gave any thanks. Still they ask mockingly, when we are disintegrated into the earth, will we be raised as a new creation? In fact, they are in denial of the meeting with their Lord. Say, O prophet, your soul will be taken by the angel of death, who is in charge of you. Then to your Lord you will all be returned. If only you could see the wicked hanging their heads in shame before the Lord, crying, Our Lord, we have now seen and heard, so send us back and we will do good. We truly have your sure faith. And we will surely go. Cotton Eye Joe. You jackass. Had we willed, We could have easily imposed guidance on every soul. But my word will come to pass. I will surely fill up hell with jinn and humans altogether. So taste the punishment for neglecting the meeting of this day of yours. We too will certainly neglect you, or taste the torment of eternity for what you used to do. The only true believers in our revelation are those who, when it is recited to them, fall into prostration and glorify the praises of their Lord and are not too proud. They abandon their beds, invoking their Lord with hope and fear, and donate from what we have provided for them. No soul can imagine what delight are kept in store for them as a reward for what they used to do. Is the one who is a believer equal before Allah to the one who is rebellious? They are not equal. As for those who believe and do good, they will have the gardens of eternal residence as an accommodation for what they used to do. But as for those who are rebellious, the fire will be their home. Whenever they try to escape from it, they will be forced back into it, and will be told, "Taste the fire's torment, which you used to deny." We will certainly make them taste some of the minor torment in this life before the major torment of this hereafter, so perhaps they will return to the right path. And who does more wrong than the one who is reminded of Allah's revelations, then turns away from them? We will surely inflict punishment upon the wicked thief stealing my painting, Hermes. Indeed, we gave the scripture to Moses, so let there be no doubt, a prophet, that you too are receiving revelations. And we make it a guide for the children of Israel. Ooh. We raised from among the leaders, guiding by our command, when they patiently endured and firmly believed in our signs. I can see that. Indeed, your Lord would decide between them on the day of judgment regarding their differences. Is it not yet clear to them how many peoples we destroyed before them, whose ruins they still pass by? Surely in this are signs. Will they not see and then listen? Do they not see how we drive rain to parched lands, producing various crops from which they and their cattle eat? Will they not then see? They ask mockingly, when is this day of final decision, if what you say is true? Say, O prophet, on the day of decision it will not be benefits as believers to believe in, nor will they be delayed from punishment. So turn away from them and wait. They too are waiting.